We are sorry, moment. Ya, ya. Jadi ya semakin setiap tahun itu kita buka pendaftaran like every semester, dan banyak banget yang apply for this scholarship, and yeah, it's hard to choose one of them because they are so they have so a lot of capabilities like susah banget. So kita ada 10 orang. Dan setiap batch we have to interview them like and choose, and it's hard.
That's amazing though. I mean, from 4 to 20 students, that's like a big achievement, because it really shows that the students are so willing to get education and to get access to education. So I don't know how you're gonna choose the ones who will get the scholarship.
So as I said before, so we choose them the first what is etap. Jadi tahap pertama.
I still remember that etap.
Etap, it's French. Oh my God. The first stage, like we look for itu nilai-nilai mereka. So their notes in school, and then we interview them like personal, tanya mereka what is their economic background, what is their dream, why they apply this scholarship, and then we test also English, and then hafalan Quran, as I said, and then Arabic, and then so we look for student who who have like motivation, meskipun nilainya kecil, tapi mereka itu semangat, punya motivasi yang tinggi, dan we choose them.
Wow, the students should be proud just to meet Miss Grace. So inspirational.
Ya, kita juga kan dibantu sama banyak komite ya, ada as I said like 10 person. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock, so we use like German time or European time, must be on time.
Yes.
Ya, kita buka dulu ya. Oke, ini kira-kira ada banyak. Oke, sudah mulai banyak teman-teman. Mungkin teman-teman bingung ya kenapa kita ngomongnya bahasa Inggris. Well, I need to, jadi kita kenalan dulu ya. Saya buka dulu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih sebelumnya saya ucapkan buat teman-teman yang adik-adik yang sudah bergabung di acara Sabrol kali ini. Kali ini istimewa banget karena kita kedatangan tamu. So, she was one of my student when I worked in Bandung International School, and now we call it like Bandung Independent School, ya Narda? Bandung Independent School. So Narda were graduated in 2014. Jadi sudah berapa? Kita udah lama banget nggak ketemu sama Narda, and kita satu IG, dan Narda ini ketika saya lihat IG-nya, wow, she was first runner-up Miss Indonesia. Maybe you can imagine, like Miss Indonesia, it's such a big event. And then Narda ini yang saya tahu dulunya pemalu, betul nggak sih Narda?
Super, big time introvert, big time introvert. So quiet. Everyone in biz knows that. Like, you remember Miss Grace? Right?
Yeah. I still remember. You were in French class and in Indonesian class also, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, di kelas Indonesia. So I knew Narda in French class and in Indonesian class, and she was so quiet. And then I saw your IG, and then wow, no, she's good, first runner up Miss Indonesia. So it's like unbelievable, and that was amazing. And sebelumnya saya mau lihat dulu ya, kita sebelum jadi tak kenal maka tak sayang. Jadi Narda ini tentu aja orang Indonesia, orang dari Sumatera Barat, right?
Sumatera Barat and
Dari
Sundanese actually.
Dan orang Sunda sama orang
Sunda.
Sumatera.
Yeah.
Orang Sunda. Oke, kenapa Narda ini ngomongnya mungkin she's fluent in English than in Indonesian because it's due to her her educational background. So Narda ini memang Narda di sekolah sudah lama dari kecil ya, Narda di sekolah internasional.
Iya.
And then, mungkin bisa sebentar saya cek dulu. Sebentar ya. Dan saya baca dari sini. Oke. Jadi Narda ini Bandung Independent School, mungkin bisa paling bawah kan Dayat, di paling bawah. Dari mulai September dari SMP ya Narda betul dia dari SMP? Oke. SMP sampai
dari SD sih.
Dari SD 2005. Oke, dari SD banget. Oke, dari SD sampai SMA. Jadi dia memang banyaknya bicara bahasa Inggris. Sudah gitu dia melanjutkan sekolahnya public speaking and personal the University of Nottingham. Jadi dia university setelah SMA dia lanjutkan ke University of Nottingham in
Malaysia.
In Malaysia.
They have the branch in Malaysia.
In Malaysia. Jadi lebih dekat ya dari Indonesia.
Yes.
Betul. Dapat Bachelor of Art International Relation with Spanish. So, do you speak Spanish?
Un poco. A little bit.
Oke. Jadi kalau Narda sudah belajar bahasa Perancis, sebenarnya lebih mudah ya belajar bahasa Spanyol, betul?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, that was so easy for me to learn Spanish because of all my French background. So
yeah,
it's
betul,
very similar.
Very similar. Oke, dan dia lebih ke belajar apa? International security, and politics, economy, development. It's more politik. Terus Bandung International School sebelumnya GPA. Wow, kalau GPA 4 kan maksimum, right?
Yes.
Betul, 4. Sama kayak di universitas kalau di sini 4. GPA-nya 3,56. Wow. Besar.
It's not that impressive. Just grateful. Just grateful that I was lucky.
Oh no, I know you were smart, Nada. I know you. I knew you.
I have to work hard.
It's di Bandung Independent School. Coba di bawah. Nah, setelah itu Narda malah belajar public speaking-nya di John Robert Powers. Where is it? John Robert Powers.
Yes. So that was I got a training opportunity from my office, from the company that I work in, and it was really a valuable 2-day course. So
great. And then before, you learned in DJRE. I know DJRE school ya. DJ ini terkenal banget kalau di Bandung atau di Jakarta?
Di Bandung.
Di Bandung. DJRE school, DJRE Broadcasting and Public Speaking School. Oke. Dan sekarang Narda bisa dikeatasin, Kang Dayat, punten. Masih bekerja di PT Telkom Indonesia ya sampai sekarang, dari mulai Oktober 2019 sampai sekarang. Wow, jadi lebih ke marketing, assist the department head, lebih ke marketing and produce marketing, create, social media content management. Ini leadership and experience sudah jelas. Narda ini first runner up Miss Indonesia 2018. Jadi biasanya kalau jadi Miss Indonesia pasti banyak kegiatan sosialnya ya,
Absolutely.
Betul?
Yes.
Ya, banyak banget. Biasanya banyak kegiatan sosialnya. Dan ini juga Nada juga aktif di kegiatan-kegiatan charity ya, kemanusiaan banyak sekali. Nah, daripada saya yang kenalan, mending saya cuma bacain aja ininya CV-nya. Narda bisa kenalan sama teman-teman di sini. Teman-teman, is it okay? Narda speak in English ya? Nggak apa-apa ya? sekalian kalian belajar.
Thank you.
Program bahasa Inggrisnya Narda jangan terlalu susah ya, jadi yang
Okay. I'll try.
Okay. And oh iya, Narda juga Narda juga punya satu website namanya kasadaya.com, dan saya udah I read some of your article and it's very interesting. It's about banyak banget ininya. Nanti Narda bisa cerita kenapa dia bisa buat website dan apa yang Narda tulis. Okay, so Narda, your time. So time is yours now.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Hi everyone. Hello. Anyways, I want to thank everyone, and especially Miss Grace and beasiswa ilimac as well for inviting me to this chat. Well, if you didn't know, I used to be Miss Grace's student. I used to take her French class. I think it was in high school. From middle school up to high school, I used to take her French class. And yes, and I used to be so shy. Ever since I was young, actually, ever since I was in elementary school, I was so quiet all the time. Kalau guru nanya di kelas, jarang angkat tangan karena takut salah ngomong. But it's actually, you know what, actually, it doesn't matter if you say something wrong or if you make mistakes, because what matters is if you try. And as Miss Grace mentioned before, I used to be very shy up until even now. Like sometimes I'm still a shy person, and I don't usually initiate a conversation with strangers, but I've learned how to expand my boundaries. So, and also like how I overcame my fear of public speaking didn't just happen in one night or one day. And suddenly I joined a pageant for Miss Indonesia in 2018. It didn't just happen overnight. So it started back when I was younger, I guess. My parents and my teachers were really supportive of me, and I was so lucky. I was so lucky that my parents and my teachers understood what I needed. So as a child, ever since I was in elementary, I used to see a psychologist, actually. I did a hypnotherapy for speaking. Yeah, so I did a therapy for speaking because I was really quiet. I even just to talk to a small group of people would scare me so much. Like I would feel so nervous, and I wouldn't say anything, and my hands.
Sorry, Narda. When you were elementary school, or
from elementary school until like I think the teachers in BIS, like they helped me a lot. So I was getting better and better, but I was still like really scared and shy, even until college, university. I was still like really hesitant to voice out my opinion. So yeah, so it, like I said, it didn't happen overnight. I started developing this courage ever since I was younger. And I saw the psychologist regularly, and we did a hypnotherapy, but it might not work for some of you. Maybe you don't need to see a psychologist, but that was the case with me. So I was really, really, really shy and really quiet. And I always thought that, oh, you know what, like if I want to be good at public speaking, I have to be an extrovert, like yes. I have to have an extroverted character. And what I learned is, no, that's not true. You don't have to be an extrovert or change your personality just to be good at public speaking or to be confident. In fact, you have to be more of yourself. Like you have to have a strong identity yourself to be able to be good at public speaking. So that's what I learned. And I myself am a big time introvert, so you don't have to change that. And you don't have to be some people are very expressive and it's easy for them to express themselves, whereas for other people it's harder. So that's okay. Like, you don't have to be someone else, but you can practice how to deliver your message properly so that other people want to listen to you, and that's important. So long story short, is it okay if I talk about my experience a little bit with Miss Indonesia? Okay. So and also,
sorry, Narda, tell me if you need I can share your slide.
Okay, sure. That I'll share some tips with you all later, but
But now you can talk about your experience.
Sure. Okay. So as Miss Grace mentioned, I used to join a pageant in 2018, and I think that was like a breakthrough for me. It was like a big leap of faith to really overcome my fear, in public speaking. That was like really a big one of the biggest moments in my life, I guess, because I was speaking in front of national television, and I used to not even say a word in front of a small group of people. But I don't look at it as like, something to brag about. But it's just a way for me to learn, and I hope that I can share this experience with you, and hopefully it will also help some of you to be more confident when you're speaking to other people, or maybe you have a presentation that you have to deliver at school, or you're going through an interview. I hope that these tips and my experience will somehow help. So so going back from my experience with the psychologist, I did a therapy, and also my mom was very supportive because she encouraged me to join drama class. Do you remember, Miss Grace? I used to join drama class a lot. I used to join drama club, and I used to dance as well. I do a dance performance. So
you did samba or what?
Samba, the samba. Latin dance,
And you are good in samba.
Oh, thank you.
You do now also samba till now, or?
I haven't been dancing in so long, but I would love to if I can have the time for it. So it's like I used to, my mom encouraged me to perform on stage a lot. So I can be more comfortable when I'm on stage. And, it's very progressive over the years of my life. And also, I think in university, by the time I got to university, I was so lucky to have met such good friends. And you can gain these confidence not only from your teachers or your experience, but also from your friends as well. So I was really lucky to meet such great friends. And then one time my mom saw an ad on the television, and she was like, "Oh, hey, you should join Miss Indonesia. Like, they have auditions." And I was
yes, you.
Yeah.
So
she suggested. Yes, exactly. So she saw the advertisement of open audition for Miss Indonesia 2018. And I thought to myself, no way. No way. I can never have the courage to do that, to speak in front of people and, to be so articulate like those amazing women on stage. And then my mom was like, well, there you go. Like you should, this might be a good opportunity for you to develop yourself. Like, you never know, just try it anyways, just try. And I thought, oh yeah, if I could join something like this, like the pageant, it's such a great platform for me to, overcome my fear and understand myself better. And it's sort of like I just wanted to test myself, to test my boundaries. Like, can I do this? And if I can, what value will I get? And I realized that over the years of my life, I've lost so many chances. I've lost so many opportunities because I was scared to say something or to speak up. So yeah, I miss a lot of chances in classes, for example, in my campus or in high school even. If the teacher asks a question and you're just sitting there quietly, they cannot see how you're thinking or how you're progressing. So you can't show your abilities to people if you don't speak up, you know. And it's okay to make mistakes too, because as long as you try, you know, you will move and get the chance, whatever it is, how many chances you get, at least you try to get the chance when it's passing by. So that's what I felt like. Yeah, I was so sad, and I was so frustrated all my life. I've wasted so many opportunities just because I was so scared to speak up. So maybe, you know what, just take the courage and join this competition, because then I will have no choice, right? If I'm there, like, I have to say something. So that was a good experience for me. And I joined the pageant with the intention of developing myself and my skills. So it was very genuine effort for both for me and also my mom. So I was really thankful that, you know, I could get the place in the pageant, and there were so many amazing women there too. So I was really lucky, I guess.
Oh.
So
Great, Nada. You are not only lucky, but you have a lot of courage, yeah. Courage.
thank you. Yeah, that was really difficult, by the way.
Not everyone have that change gitu. Jadi Narda ini betul-betul memanfaatkan, dan dia takut, teman-teman saya dalam bahasa Indonesia supaya lebih mudah kalian mengerti. Tapi kalian mengerti kan apa yang Nada bicarakan. Jadi buat awalnya kan Narda itu sangat pemalu ya, sampai dia awalnya ikut hipnoterapi untuk terapi berbicara, sampai dari kecil sampai SMA. Memang Narda ini memang termasuk pendiam. Di kelas juga saya mengenal Narda memang pendiam. Dan untungnya Narda ini memiliki seorang ibu yang sangat suportif dan lingkungan juga yang sangat suportif, yang membuat dia berani untuk berbicara. Jadi the environment has an important role for her development ya. Jadi memang lingkungan itu sangat-sangat punya peran yang sangat penting dalam perkembangan Narda gitu. Jadi dan Narda juga bilang bahwa you don't have to be extrovert to speak in public, but you just need to be yourself. Jadi kalian cuma butuh jadi diri kalian sendiri. Apa yang kalian miliki ya, you have to speak up. Jadi kalian memang harus berbicara gitu. Jadi nggak usah takut. It's okay to make a mistake. Jadi nggak apa-apa, salah juga. Yang penting kita bisa mengungkapkan ide. Ya, kalau kalian terus takut, berarti kalian you will miss lot of opportunities. Jadi kalian akan kehilangan banyak kesempatan gitu. Nada, okay, let's continue.
So true. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll share some of my tips based on my experience that have worked for me in the past. Maybe this might not work for some of you, and that's okay. You can find other ways, but I'll just share the tips that have worked for me. So maybe first, I'd like to ask all of you here, imagine yourself when you're in a situation and you have to give a presentation in class, or you have to give a speech, or you're doing an interview, and you're in a room full of people and they're all looking at you. You're up there on stage. You're just the only one in the spotlight, right? So how do you feel when you're in this situation?
Apa yang kalian rasakan kalau kalian berdiri jadi pusat perhatian semua orang? Apa yang kalian rasakan? Kalian boleh tulis di chat ya, boleh tulis sambil tulis di chat. Apa kalian takut? Apa kalian gugup? Apa kalian ngerasa panik? Tangannya bergetar, suaranya bergetar, Pokoknya nggak jelas, nggak karuan, stres,
Yeah.
berkeringat.
Because I
Bah-
definitely feel that way if I'm speaking on stage. Like I will feel nervous, and then my hands would tremble. You know, you feel stressed,
Kalian boleh
overwhelmed. Yeah, someone were overwhelmed. Ika, anxious, gugup, absolutely. Nervous, sometimes I can't control it. Yeah, these are, you know
Yeah.
what, guys? These are totally normal. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with feeling this way. Everybody feels this way. Even the president or a public figure, they will feel this way because it's natural for us, you know, to feel this way as human beings. And in order for us to overcome our fear, we have to understand why we are scared, right? So you have to know the reason. So next slide, please. Yeah, so you know the symptoms that you have felt, it's called glossophobia. It's a strong fear of speaking in front of a group of people. And it's totally okay if you guys have glossophobia. And how do you know that? How do I know that I have glossophobia? Well, let's check. Okay, do you have any of these symptoms? Like when you have to speak in front of people, do you avoid it? You know, when you get the chance, do you avoid it at all costs? Or maybe you're scared that people will judge you and you feel extremely stressed, maybe so stressed out that your stomach hurts and your head hurts as well. Or you're just shy and you're very passive and you have shaky hands, trembling hands, and shaky voice. And you know what? That's okay if you're feeling this way, because this fear is a very common fear. In fact, 75% of the world's population has this fear. So it's totally normal. And obviously, there are some treatments that you can do. For example, lifestyle changes, or like I did, you can do psychotherapy. Or in some rare cases, you can take medications, and that's okay too if you really need medication. And it's okay for you to see a psychologist for a treatment, because that doesn't mean you're weak, but it means that you're taking a step for yourself. You know, you're doing something good for yourself. So that's actually courage for you. So, and also, where does this fear come from? Why are we so scared when we speak in front of people? Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the top common fears that people have when they're about to speak publicly. Okay, these are the reasons. I'm afraid to say something wrong. Yeah, takut salah ngomong. Or I'm afraid that others will judge me. What will other people think? Maybe they think, you know, what if they think I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough? Like, you know, all these things. Or some people are just scared that they might forget the content. You know, they go blank. You know, has anybody experienced this?
tiba-tiba, like,
Yeah, udah disiapin dari jauh hari, and then you just on the day blank. Yeah, you just forget. Or some people will look scared that, oh, what if they can see that I'm nervous? You know, I will feel more nervous if they can tell. And also there's the fear that they cannot answer some of the audience's questions. You know, they will blabber, or they don't know the answer. Or they're scared that there will be technical difficulties. For example, if you're on stage, what if the microphone isn't working, or the speaker or the slide isn't showing up? There's something wrong. And then you just panic on stage. And that's okay. And next slide, please. Yeah. So if you realize before, all the fear is focused on yourself. You know, what if I do a mistake? What if I get judged? It's all focused on me. You know, that's what I realized. But then I read an article from Business Harvard Review, And they say, if you want to overcome your fear of public speaking, stop focusing on yourself. So how come? Like, why can't we focus on ourselves? Because we're the one who's going to present, right? Well, you know why? Because you are speaking to your audience. So you have to transfer your focus from yourself and to your audience. And it's like this. If you see yourself as equal to your audience, you will not feel nervous because you don't have the need to be perfect. So this is actually, I want to talk about another book that I read it's called Joy. And it was about an interview with the Dalai Lama. And he said that when he's on stage, he's never nervous because he's compassionate. So what does it mean when you're compassionate? It means that you see yourself as equal to your audience. So you don't see yourself as, oh, I'm on stage, I'm the different one, or I'm the special one, and I have to be perfect. No, you have to see yourself as belonging with your audience. Like me and you, we're all equal. Like we're all just human beings, and we're not perfect because we're human beings. So if you put your focus on your audience, automatically you don't have like this thinking that, oh, I have to be perfect, I have to deliver my presentation perfectly and I cannot make mistakes. No, like that is not true. So just remember this: when you're nervous, just think that, oh, the audience, they're people too. And I'm also a human being, and I'm the same as they are. And I belong in the crowd as well. I'm equal. So it's okay if I make mistakes. It's okay. And also going back to the previous fear, one of the common fears, you fear of being judged, right? Well, let's say this: everybody creates an opinion. Everyone creates an opinion. Even I create my opinion. And that means everyone in the audience, yes, they can have an opinion on you, but don't let it get to you, because they don't know you personally, and they don't know you on a personal level. So you know what, like don't be too scared of that, because the only opinions that matter is the opinions of your close ones, your closest friends or family. And okay, maybe I'll share a little bit of some tips that maybe you can try next time to overcome your fear when you have to give a presentation or a speech. So tip number 1 is definitely know your material. Yeah. So whatever it is you're going to give a speech about or a presentation, you have to know the topic well, and never ever memorize. Never ever memorize. I've tried this. It never worked. Like you just get so stressed out when you try to memorize everything, because you will eventually forget when you're nervous. Like all the words will just disappear. And also start with one big idea. So you have a topic and you have one big idea, and you just expand that idea and address it to your audience, and you keep going around that one idea. So stick to one idea of your topic and make it bigger, so that you don't go here and there when you're speaking, you go out of topic. So that's definitely tip number 1, is know your material. And also, if you understand what your topic is about, it's just going to be natural. You're just going to explain it naturally, which is a lot easier. So tip number 2 is definitely practice. Yeah, if you're nervous, if you're not someone who's naturally good in speaking in front of people, it's okay. You have to practice. Yeah, sure. Maybe some of your friends are really good at it and they just speak and no problem. But for you, maybe it's a little different, and that's okay. Do something that works for you. So keep practicing. Practice maybe in front of a mirror or in front of someone who you can trust, and ask them for feedback. How did I do? And maybe once you get the feedback, try to improve yourself. See where you can improve yourself. And the third one is prepare question and answers. So let's say you have a topic, and it's easy for you now to just Google about the topic and look at the frequently asked questions about the topic. So you can prepare yourself in case some of the audience would ask. And this goes back to tip number 1 as well, actually. If you know and understand your material, there will be no need for you to freak out when you're expecting questions from the audience, because you will just naturally explain it. And if you don't know the answer, that's okay, because you're not there to be perfect, as I said before. Yeah, like everyone learns from someone, so that's okay too. And next slide, please. Right, so tip number 4 is arrive early. Or if you're having Zoom meetings now, just come online earlier. And get to the venue, get online earlier, maybe 10 to 15 minutes earlier, just to see if is the microphone working, is my slide working, is it can people read my slides, or is the lighting okay? Like these things, if you don't check it beforehand, you will feel nervous because you keep thinking about it in your head, right? And it will mess you up. So come earlier. And another tip is, maybe this only applies to some people, but it definitely applies to me, because I am not a funny person, you guys. Like I cannot joke, or like I do like making jokes, but not many people would find it funny. So I will never, just to be safe, I will never start a speech or a presentation with a joke, because when you try to make a joke and then the audience don't laugh, you're going to be more nervous. It's like, oh no, why are they not laughing? Like I just made a joke. But yeah, that's to be safe. But if you are like a funny person and you're confident about it, that's okay. Like you can start with a joke. But if you want to be safe, and if you feel like, that's not really who I am, so it's okay, don't start with a joke. But what you have to do, a good introduction to a speech or a presentation, is you give your audience a promise. Yeah, you promise your audience, what will they get? What value will they get? What will they learn from your presentation or your speech? And last but not least, smile and make eye contact. And this might look easy, smile and make eye contact, but it's often overlooked. And I often forget this when you're on stage, because you're just on fire and you just explain like your topic to people, and then suddenly you forget, like, oh yes, like just to make it easy for your audience and to light up the atmosphere a little bit, just smile and make eye contact. And also think of it like you're having a conversation with your friends or someone. It's just like a conversation, it's an interactive conversation, and they need to hear an information from you. And also I want to mention, if you look at the audience face and you see that they sometimes in the audience, you can see some of the audiences are really moody, or they don't smile, or they look really mean. It's not because they're mean, it's just because that's their facial expression. But when we're on stage, we sometimes forget that, right? Because oh, like the audience doesn't look happy. Is it because they don't like what I'm saying, or is it because I'm not good enough? Why aren't they smiling, or why are they making that face, that straight face? You know what? It's so don't jump to conclusions about their facial expression. Because have you ever been to a presentation or a meeting that's like really long, and you've had a tiring day and your mind is just somewhere else? Obviously, you're not going to be smiling all the time when you're watching a presentation, right? As an audience, because maybe that person, maybe you've had a bad day. you've had a bad morning, maybe you're like thinking about your test or something else is going on, like you're thinking about your problem, so your mind is not really there. And that's why you have to remember these things when you see an audience and they don't look happy and they have a straight face. Don't think, oh, this person doesn't like me. Don't think that way, because they don't even know you, So just remember that, oh, this person must have had a rough day to begin with. And he has to be stuck here in this meeting or this presentation. And yeah, I hope he solves all his problems. So just think that way. Don't jump to conclusions about people. And so those are my tips, pretty small tips, but tips that you can try, hopefully. And next slide, please. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all for the tips that I have, and they've worked for me. They may be like small changes or small tips, but they definitely work, and it takes practice to try out these tips. And also, if you guys want to read some more about public speaking or confidence building or development, human development, you can look at the blog Kasadaya. So this blog is actually something that my brother and I started. We started a blog about human capital and employee wellness, because ever since we started working, we feel like a lot of employees are not confident, or they're not they're not realizing, they're not using their full potential. And it's a shame, because we, like, in every company, the people are the ones that are very, very important. So that's why we started this blog Kasadaya. Based on our experience, it's just a passion and a hobby. We both love to write, and we just hope that some of our sharing session can help some people, and especially employees, and maybe even students who need to learn about development as well. So yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Oh, thank you, Narda. It's very interesting, yeah, and this such of great idea and great tips. Mungkin teman-teman kalau misalnya mau tanya sama Narda, jadi tadi kita Narda sudah menjelaskan tips-tipsnya ya. Jadi yang pertama adalah kalian harus mengenali, ketika kalian mempresentasikan sesuatu, yang pertama adalah kalian harus mengenali dengan baik subjeknya apa, jadi bahannya apa, kalian harus betul-betul kenali dengan baik. Jadi jangan sampai menghafal kata demi kata apa yang akan dipresentasikan, tapi mengenal betul-betul dengan baik subjeknya. Jadi nanti kalian bisa explore atau bisa lebih mengembangkan subjek tersebut dengan mudah. Yang kedua adalah keep practicing. Jadi tetap latihan. Jadi kalian bisa latihan di depan TV. Nah, Narda, saya mau sedikit cerita juga. Ini mengingatkan saya juga, sebelum dulu tuh saya kerja di BIS, saya sambil jadi reporter TVRI waktu itu, TVRI Jawa Barat dan Banten.
Wow.
Program.
Iya, so betul. Cool. Sorry.
And saya tuh kerja di TVRI untuk meliput tempat-tempat wisata di seputar daerah Jawa Barat, Narda.
Nice.
Jadi saya cari bahan tempat wisata apa aja yang akan dipresentasikan, terus saya mengenali bahan saya dengan baik, baru saya bisa berbicara dengan baik di depan kamera. Dan mungkin agak sedikit berbeda dengan Narda, karena Narda itu harus berbicara betul-betul di depan audiens, sedangkan saya berbicara di depan kamera untuk audiens. Jadi ada sedikit perbedaan, tapi sebenarnya kesulitannya sama aja, karena yang pertama adalah kita harus betul-betul menguasai bahan. Dan kedua, tetap latihan. Jadi dulu saya kalau misalnya untuk sebelum saya bawain berita, bukan bawain informasi, ya, membawakan informasi, saya juga harus latihan. Nada saya latihan di depan kaca biasanya.
Yes,
Saya
yes, that works. Yeah.
betul di depan kaca, saya latihan di depan kaca. Bahkan ketika selesai, saya suka review apa ya yang tadi yang saya udah bilang. Ini kayaknya saya kurang ini deh, betul nggak? Nah, did you do that?
Yes,
Also?
or sometimes I record myself sometimes to see, okay, I didn't do that well. What did I say before? So yeah, it's a good way to evaluate.
Betul. Jadi kita mengevaluasi diri sendiri juga. Jadi dengan latihan kita akan mengevaluasi diri sendiri. Dan yang ketiga adalah tadi Narda bilang persiapkan pertanyaan dan jawabannya. Jadi kalian mungkin bisa kira-kira apa sih yang akan kebanyakan pendengar tanyakan, lalu kalian berusaha untuk menyiapkan jawaban. Di sini mungkin kalau kita presentasi di sekolah ya, biasanya presentasi di sekolah juga gitu. Kira-kira nanti apa yang akan teman-teman tanyakan, terus kita persiapkan jawabannya. Dan yang keempat adalah kalau misalnya ada interview atau apa, kita harus datang lebih cepat. Karena dengan kalau kita sudah terlambat, itu malah kita jadi gugup sendiri. Jadi apa yang sudah kita pelajari sebelumnya atau kita persiapkan, itu suka buyar. Dan yang kelima, tadi tips dari Narda adalah, kalau orang yang nggak bisa bercanda nih, kalau kalian bukan orang yang suka stand up comedy, jangan mulai dengan bercanda. Betul ya Narda ya?
Yeah, like myself.
Aku juga nggak bisa ya, juga nggak bisa bercanda. Jadi jangan mulai dengan candaan. Karena ketika orang lain tadi Narda bilang nggak senyum atau tidak merespon candaan kita jadi waduh jadi malah tambah gugup gitu. Dan yang keenam adalah senyum. Jangan lupa tersenyum dulu ya dan melakukan kontak mata dengan audiens. Dan yang ketujuh adalah nih misalnya nih ada orang kelihatannya nih nggak tertarik, mungkin dia entah capek atau lelah, tapi yang terpenting adalah kita nggak fokus sama orang itu, tapi kita tetap fokus dengan informasi apa yang akan kita berikan gitu. Jadi jangan wah ini kayaknya orang nggak tertarik deh sama ini aku. It's okay, nggak ada masalah ya. Yang penting kita adalah fokus dengan informasi yang akan kita berikan. Dan yang kedelapan, yang terakhir tadi Nada bilang ya, bisa dibilang percaya diri gitu. Karena dengan percaya diri kalian bisa mengoptimalkan kemampuan kalian pribadi gitu. Ini tips yang bagus banget dari Narda. Thank you so much. Ini betul-betul tips buat buat teman-teman ya, adik-adik di sini yang mungkin tidak ekstrovert. Saya orangnya ekstrovert Nada. Saya orangnya memang senang ngomong.
I know, I can tell. So
iya,
fun.
So fun. Enggak, karena saya memang guru. Kalau saya nggak ngomong nanti gimana? Jadi memang saya termasuk orang yang ekstrovert. Jadi mudah berbicara, mudah masuk ke dalam lingkungan baru. Tapi kalian tidak harus menjadi seorang yang ekstrovert untuk bisa percaya diri di depan orang. Yang terpenting adalah kalian tadi seperti Narda bilang, menjadi diri kalian sendiri, percaya diri untuk bahwa kalian bisa menyampaikan informasi yang akan kalian berikan terhadap pendengar gitu. Betul ya Narda ya?
Yes, absolutely.
Oke, teman-teman. Nah, ini kan kita tentang public speaking. Jadi, yang ingin bertanya tidak ditulis ya, tidak ditulis tapi langsung berbicara sama Narda. Kalau kalian coba dengan bahasa Inggris, kalau nggak yakin ya nggak apa-apa pakai bahasa Indonesia.
It's okay, I understand.
Nada juga mengerti karena dia asli orang Padang dan orang Sunda. Nada, do you speak Sundanese?
Iya, ngarta sungkul. Ngarta sungkul.
Sungkul. Jadi dia ngerti juga bahasa Sunda. Mau pakai bahasa Sunda juga silahkan.
Iya.
Teman-teman yang mau tanya silahkan dibuka videonya, dibuka juga mikrofonnya. Ada yang mau tanya?
I see someone has written a chat.
Iya, ini Hasbuna. Ini salah satu dari komite kita sebenarnya, Narda.
Okay.
Hasbuna ini atau bisa dibilang sering dipanggil Mila, itu salah satu dari komite beasiswa ilimac yang adalah adiknya Pak Wildan.
Oh wow, hi. He used to be my teacher too back in high school. My
Iya,
science lab teacher.
betul. Pak Wildan juga dulu juga mengajar di Bandung International School di laboratoriumnya. Oke, mungkin teman-teman sambil persiapkan
Oh,
pertanyaan.
really? Hi, Narda.
Sekarang
Hi.
Mila yang tanya. Silakan.
Hello.
Hi, hi, hi.
Hello.
Thanks.
Kayaknya putus.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Talk. It's really nice. And
Kayaknya
okay, maybe nggak usah pakai video kali ya.
ya, coba
Okay.
agak putus coba.
So now it's clear?
Okay,
Is it
yeah.
clear now?
Yes. Now
Okay.
it's clear.
So thanks for the talk. It is really nice and impressive.
Thank
And
you.
then, I have a question. Since when you realize that you have that confidence to talk in front of people, like doing a public speaking? Because in my case, honestly, I just found that recipes in my 30s, I would say. I mean, because I am as a scientist, I have to deliver my work to the audience, so that it is like, I feel like useless if you are if you work so hard, you don't understand. So that's why I need to learn how to speak in public, like public speaking. So and then I was thinking, since when you have that confidence to speak in front of the audience?
Honestly, it's pretty recently. Like I said, it didn't happen overnight, and I realized that sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
It didn't happen overnight, or obviously, yes.
Yeah, so I realized, I think when I just graduated university, and and I joined the pageant. I think that was when I realized, and it's not like after the pageant, but it was, the whole preparation throughout the pageant and preparing myself for the quarantine. And so that's when I realized, like, a lot of people were supporting me at that time. And when I was auditioning and also, when I was auditioning, we have this project called Beauty with a Purpose in the pageant. So what it is you choose a social project that you want to work on, and you have to, voice it out, voice your opinion about it. And that's when I realized, like, you know what, like, I'm confident, like I have to be confident, and I am confident because when I speak, I can deliver my opinion and my ideas for a good cause, like the social charities that I've been working on, or a cause that I'm really, really passionate about, like equality or zero hunger. If I don't learn to speak up, I'm just gonna miss my chances. And once I do get that chance, once I took that chance by joining the Miss Indonesia pageant, and I see a lot of people were, like they were listening to my ideas, and that's when I started to gain confidence. And I felt really powerful too, when you can voice out your opinion on something good for a good cause. And I just realized there, like, oh, like, there's no reason for you to be not confident if you have good intentions. And I think that's when I realized it. So I realized it pretty late as well in my life, during the pageant, and that was such a revelation to me too. And as you said before, you're a scientist, right? And you need to be able to make people understand what your research findings are about. So it's really important.
Yes, thanks for the sharing.
No problem.
Okay, thank you, Nather. Anyone else? Ada lagi yang mau tanya? Ini masih ada. Oke, Billy, please. Silahkan, Billy.
Okay, first thank you for Miss Grace and ilimac scholarship team for inviting Miss Nardia to the Zoom meeting. And that's such an honor to meet you, Miss Nardia, in the Zoom.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to meet you too.
Okay, thank you. My name is Juli. I would like to ask a question, please. As you said before, life changer event that encouraged you to speak was hypnotherapy. Therefore, how much has it changed you? Where and when did you take that hypnotherapy? And do you suggest us to do that?
All right, thank you so much for the question. I did hypnotherapy when I was in elementary, and it really worked. But let me tell you that the biggest change that happened was not from the therapy. It comes from myself, and the people around me. So hypnotherapy was a good idea. It was a good support to kickstart my journey towards confidence. So it did help me in a way because it helped me to be more aware of myself. Yeah. So by doing the therapy, I work really closely with a therapist and also with my parents and teachers. And they really taught me how to be more aware of myself. So let's say if, for example, if I feel nervous in certain situations, I learn how to reason it in my head. Like, wait, why am I nervous? Is it something to be scared about? Is it really something scary for me? Or can I overcome it? So, little steps like that, that definitely helped me. That's what I got. That's what I learned from the therapy. Is I was able to be more aware of myself and reason out why I'm so scared sometimes, and that really helps if you know and if you can reason out like, oh yeah, where does my fear come from, and can I change it, and how can I change that? So it helps me to focus on what I can control as a person. But a majority of the changes, it did come from myself and from my friends and from my family. At that point, I was at a point in my life where I was just frustrated, and I was really sad because I want to be able to feel comfortable like other people, because I have some ideas. It's really frustrating when you can't express your ideas really well, even though it inside, like, oh, this idea would be good, like, to implement, or it's a good project, or I know the answer to that question. I think I know, but that's okay. Like, all you have to do is just try. But if you keep fearing, then you're not gonna see result, and you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know like what changes you might have for yourself. So the biggest part of the change comes from yourself, definitely.
Setuju.
Okay,
Thank you, Billy, for the question. Bagus pertanyaannya. Ada lagi yang lain? Oke, kayaknya kita so yeah, it's almost 12 here in German, and we have only 4 minutes more, 4 minutes left. Jadi ini kayak pendek banget ya, sayang banget karena ini bagus banget diskusinya. Maybe Narda, next time we can invite you.
Absolutely, please do. I'll be waiting for the next invitation.
Thank you. Ini bagus banget kesempatannya buat teman-teman yang adik-adik yang punya perasaan malu untuk mengungkapkan ide. Tapi pesannya satu dari Narda adalah tadi dari pertanyaan Billy, hipnoterapi atau terapi apapun itu, yang paling bisa mengubah kalian adalah diri kalian sendiri. Jadi yang terpenting adalah, tadi Narda bilang kalau Narda itu questioning herself, ya, dia nanya kenapa saya harus malu, kenapa saya harus takut, apa sih yang saya takutkan, apa yang membuat saya malu. Don't focus on your negative thinking. Jadi jangan fokus sama perasaan atau pikiran kalian yang negatif tadi. Just focus on yourself. Jadi fokus on your positive side. Jadi fokus aja sama hal positif kalian. Oke, saya punya ide bagus, ini idenya bagus, pokoknya saya harus ungkapkan ide ini. Meskipun kalian takut misalnya ngomongnya sampai terbata-bata, itu it's okay, nggak apa-apa. Yang penting adalah coba. Ini deh buat adik-adik nih penting banget, Narda. Jadi kita itu memang salah satu program beasiswa adalah adanya kelas online. Dan kelas online ini encourage, membuat bagaimana caranya mengencourage atau menanamkan rasa percaya diri anak-anak beasiswa ilimac untuk berbicara, untuk bertanya, dan untuk bukan meneliti, untuk mengungkapkan ide-ide mereka. Jadi kalau terutama di kelas bahasa, so Narda we have four language class online, ya. Jadi ada 5 masalah, French, English, German, Arabic, and Japanese. Jadi kita punya 5 kelas online bahasa asing itu untuk membuat mereka lebih percaya diri untuk berbicara di depan umum. Jadi semakin kita belajar banyak bahasa, kita mungkin bisa lebih percaya diri di depan umum. Betul tidak, Narda?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you can speak many different language, it doesn't just mean you can speak the language, but you can also understand, people's culture, and you can respect each other that way. You're just more open-minded. So you have to be confident.
Harus percaya diri, intinya itu. Sebelum saya tutup, I would like to ask one question.
Sure.
So Narda, what is not what are? What is your biggest dream?
My biggest dream. Okay, it's actually pretty simple. Well, not simple, but it's very cheesy and plain. I really would love to teach one day. And I want to build a green school. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's this school in Bali called Bali Green School. And I remember taking a field trip there. And I was just so amazed at the school. And I just, I feel like from someone like me, I felt very lucky to gain a good quality education in Bandung Independent School. And I wish all the kids can also experience and get the chance that I did. And yeah, that would be my biggest dream, I guess. It's very big, and it might sound a little cheesy, but that's really true, because I really do feel lucky, and I really feel like, everyone should have the chance to a good quality education. So what you're doing here with the scholarship is amazing.
Berarti sama dengan mimpi beasiswa ilimac sendiri, ya teman-teman, adalah pendidikan yang berkualitas untuk semua orang. That's our motto, Nada.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Totally.
Jadi kita, Narda ternyata punya satu visi yang sama dengan beasiswa ilimac. Narda, and once more, thank you so much for your time, for your tips, and terima kasih buat semuanya, Narda, ya.
Yeah, thank you as well. Thank you so much for inviting me to this chat, and I think it's so nice to see so many students so excited like this. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Narda. Mungkin insya Allah nanti teman-teman kita bisa selanjutnya bisa mengundang Narda kembali di sini buat sharing. Nanti teman-teman yang akan, bukan Narda lagi yang banyak ngobrol, tapi kita akan diskusi sama Narda. Jadi kalian yang bertanya, Narda yang akan jawab. Oke?
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
Oke, Narda, ya, terima kasih banyak, and stay healthy in Bandung, ya, tetap sehat.
Thank you. You too. Take care over there. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Narda. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Wait,
Sebentar.
Nada,
Foto bareng
Oh,
dulu.
yeah.
Nada, could you please wait? We want to take a group picture.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Mungkin Eva bisa ini ya, aba-aba.
Ya, teman-teman bisa dibuka semua ininya ya. Sudah ininya videonya sudah bisa dibuka semua. Yang belum dibuka video silahkan dibuka video.
Saya tidak bisa.
Ya udah kalau nggak bisa nggak apa-apa. Yang bisa silahkan dibuka videonya ya.
Okay. So we have two pages. That will be the first one. 1, 2, 3, cheese. And the second one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice weekend ya. Semuanya selamat berlibur. Terima kasih sudah bergabung bersama Sabrol kali ini. Tetap sehat semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.